Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from some of our shows focused on youth, community, and lifestyle. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social platforms. First, on how to steam your dreams, check out the exciting last part of e-gaming at the 2025 Ocean Bowl Games in Baltimore. Next up on Read Science, we learn about the oceans and the secrets they hold on this part 3 with marine biologist Helen Scales. On the Spotlight DMV, CEO of Sensory Sentiments Luxury Spa Nadine Vatel talks creating a luxury experience right here for the Bowie community. Finally, on the Simply Bowie Show, check out the recap of the amazing winners of Simply Bowie Magazine 3rd Annual Reader's Choice Awards. Thank you for tuning in to this week's programming of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle.
All right. High in the air, over the goal. But it's broken. XPG on the board first. Immediately. Let's see what the champs got. Always easy when you're winning. But can you handle adversity? XPG is on fire here. XPG, you control it in. Finally, the chance. Back in control, heading towards the goal. Follow the ball. Follow the ball. Can they angle it around? Will that be enough to bring this back? Maybe a high rope over the goal.
That's a great strategy to keep pressure on them, to keep them from the goal.
Well, the pressure's just getting more intense. And they take it.
One. Jellyfishing. Oh.
Round 2.
Let's go.
We could be on the verge of an upset.
I mean, I think right now these teams feel evenly matched. The champs still have the champion advantage, but these upstarts, the XPG, they've got the first goal.
SCG is hungry.
Clearly, they wasn't a peek
The
today.
Harlem Park is battle tested.
Immediate score isn't going to go chalk just like last round. Let's find out. Going straight for XPG is 3 points away from winning the entire Ocean Bowl.
You hate to see it.
The champions aren't melting down. They're maintaining their strategy, trying to play defense, but it's not enough. It's not enough. XPG is 1 point away from victory.
1 point away from disrupting a 3-peat.
Can they silence the 3-peat? They're 4.
There we go. There we go. It's great news. Great Ocean Bowl game.
Let's go!
City Chiefs.
Y'all from Philly.
Y'all were Philadelphia Eagles, we were Kansas City Chiefs. And I congratulate you, but we will be back next year. Let's go!
All right, we got an awards ceremony going on right now. I hope everybody's got their award medal. And I thank God for every last one of y'all. Look at y'all, did an awesome job. Give yourselves a hand. Give the coaches a hand. All our good partners, keep giving them a hand, y'all. Learn Fresh wants to give a sportsmanship award. Let's do that first.
All right, on the red card, can we get Jace? Jace, great job on being a great sport. We got Skylar L. Skylar with the last name L. Great job. On the blue card, we have Amira. And Aaron. Great job.
I love the fact that we're promoting sportsmanship. We want y'all to learn. We want y'all to learn how to do some compete in the real world at our age. Have to compete.
We're going to start with the prime, the top three for the prime.
17,050 points. We're in Tiger Sharks with 16,600 points. In third place for our primaries, give it up for YFP 1 with 16,106.
On to our juniors. So, third place, we got Rose Gold Krakens with 16,600 points. All right, let's give it up for Zaraya, Selena, and Jazira. Juniors, y'all ready? Drum roll, give a little drum roll. It's the Jellyfishes. 20,900 points. Like, yeah, yup. First place, juniors, Tropic Thunder. 25,100 points.
Let's let Miss Dion from Fulton Bank give them their wonderful cash prize gift.
And they are walking away with their pledge and $25 in cash today. Let's give them a round of applause.
This year's MVP for my team is Cameron Morris.
Let's go, Cameron! You finally earned this dude. Hey, last year, Cameron was like, I should have won MVP. Maybe you should have, but you are MVP to us always, my brother. We wish you the best. And this is your last year, probably, of competition, right? Because you're 13. We go from 8 to 14. So thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed yourself. You're a true champion. 2 times, well, yeah, multiple times. All right, y'all give it up for our MVP. Let's bring up our champions in the red font. Get ready for the red font.
Y'all champions, man.
Come on up, come on up.
This house, what you got?
Come on up.
Red flag!
All right, y'all, this was special to me. I know Furley didn't win, which is my school. But 2 Baltimore City public schools into this competition this year. And I am so happy to crown Cross Country Elementary. All right, and then we have folks in Bank who will be giving out our trophies and a cash prize of $50.
Again, Team XBG is very grateful for the opportunity here. And for this year's Ocean Games Award, we're going to have the MVP is Aiden Smith. Aiden.
Y'all give it up for Aiden.
Aiden Smith, good job. Aiden, MVP for this year. But everybody well done. On my team, we're all MVPs.
Wow, I can't even believe it. We have wrapped up Ocean Bowl Games 2025. The Aqua Ball League is done. We have new champs. They have dethroned the two-time reigning champs, Harlem Park. So let's give a big congratulations to Team XPG. They were young, they were hungry, and they took home the title in a 2-game sweep. But that doesn't mean that we've seen the last of Harlem Park, as they have vowed that they will be back next year for a grudge match. So who's going to win next year? Who knows? We might have another two-peat on our hand, or we might see the vengeance of Harlem Park. But to find out, you got to come back next year.
Hi, everybody. This is Joanne with Read Science, and I am joined, as always, by Jeff Schomeyer, my co-host. And today we are joined by Helen Scales, who is sitting in the UK currently. She is the author of several books, including the one we will focus on today, The Brilliant Abyss, Exploring the Majestic Hidden Life of the Deep Ocean and the Looming Threat that Imperils It. And I have read past books of Helen's and loved them. So I was so excited that she had a new book and we had the opportunity to speak with her today. Well, okay, so I want to ask you, you had a question, or you had a comment that there are more astronomers than astronauts. There are more deep sea biologists than the ones who go on Argonauts, right? Like who go under the ocean. So, so as a marine biologist, though, what do you need to be a marine biologist? It seems it can run the whole gamut. You could stay and look at collections of things, people, or you can dive yourself, or you can really dive in a submersible. So this field seems really big. And since you're our first marine biologist, I thought I would take this opportunity to ask about the field. And there may be people here interested or who have young people in their life interested. So.
Oh, I mean, it's a hugely wide field, I guess. And it's, I mean, we could talk about marine science as an even bigger field of that and pick out whether you're most interested in the life stuff, which is the biology or the chemistry or the physics, or you want to wrap it all up together. And there's all these intersectional kind of, you know, biochemical oceanographers and people who really think across those boundaries. Because I mean, I think to really understand the oceans and to understand how they work, we need people specializing, and we need that kind of crossover between all these different areas. It's all so tied together, the physics, the chemistry, the biology. But if we narrow it down to
biology, we means life and ecosystems. And,
life and understanding, what's there, that's a lot, the living systems, whether that's focusing in on a particular species and understanding how that lives and survives, or tracing, you know, connections through to a whole ecosystem and habitats that's you know, all under that kind of marine biology thing. I mean, I guess the kind of the kind of cliched idea of a marine biologist is somebody who studies dolphins, you know, and gets to swim with those guys. And you know, there's plenty of marine biologists who don't scuba dive, who don't get wet, if you like. I mean, there's plenty of dry marine biology to be done. Because, I mean, partly, I mean, as I'm showing in the book with deep sea biology, I mean, there's so much that can be done now with these remote tools, the technologies we have to study these places where it's very difficult and very dangerous and expensive to put human beings. Therefore, you know, we've got these incredible ways of studying these distant shores and distant realms of the oceans. So really, it's whatever you want to do. I mean, I would say, in terms of what it's like being a deep sea biologist out working in the oceans, out at sea, that in itself, even if you're not on an expedition, we call them cruises, actually. So there's one thing. I don't remember if that's in the book or not. I forget if my editor was like,
you mentioned that. You had a end note like I that did. You could rent. You could rent. Yeah.
So, you know, these research cruises, you're spending days, at the least, probably weeks, if not months, at sea, basically on a mobile research platform. So, you know, a ship is where scientists just, you know, go and live and do their science 24/7, and that's an extraordinary thing to be able to do. I mean, not a lot of some scientists will go into the field and they'll immerse themselves, but you really are, you know, you're a team working together for that time on this mobile thing. You're stuck in the middle of the ocean, together, working towards understanding this whatever particular part of the deep is that you're interested in, that you're looking at. And it's an extraordinary thing. And the camaraderie is amazing. The idea of discovery and exploration is extraordinary. That is a wonderful part of this type of work, is getting to do those sorts of expeditions. They're very expensive. I mean, that's the other thing that's a difficult thing about deep sea biology. It's not cheap to get these ships and run them. I mean, you could just imagine the costs of the equipment and of the crew and everyone that needs to be involved in that. So that's one side of it. But then we have other technologies like satellite-based technologies, incredible stuff we're learning about the oceans and how they work from space. So there's if there are people out there who are fascinated with big scale processes and are really good at computers, I'm going to say in a very general way, then there's amazingly powerful ways of understanding more about the planet and how it's changing, and the oceans and how they're changing from space and from remotely collected data sets and so on. So I think marine biology can be anything from someone who's focusing down on one group of animals and wants to know everything about that thing and those things, and you go out and you find them and you study them and you bring them back to the lab and you use genetic techniques or whatever it is you have at your fingertips to understand its life, through to stand back and understand how the oceans work with the currents and with waves and with storms and how that all ties together. So you've got a huge range of scales at which you could be focusing your mind, I guess, when it comes to the ocean. So I think it can be all sorts of things. It really can. It's a really diverse field, I guess, in that sense. It's science but applied to the ocean in whatever way you can imagine, basically.
Any way you can.
Since we have a big cross section of science, it seems like maybe in this century that there's been a lot more cross-disciplinary flow than there was before. People used to specialize much more, I felt like. And now you're talking about this. We talked about archaeology from space earlier. And it's like, I recognize from, my trajectory in physics and then the computers and analyses and statistics, these things have ways to flow out into marine biology and mapping. And then there's the remote sensing, and that can be the space people, that can be the oceanography, it can be physical things. And there's a lot of blending going on that's exciting. And maybe it's just an evolutionary thing. If this is where that all of the interesting things to look at and discoveries to be made at the moment seem to be at these boundaries that have become kind of soft. And so a lot of the physicists, it never would have happened before, but a lot of the physicists I know now are something hyphen physicists.
Right.
Health physicists, radiation physicists, marine physicists, whatever. And that's cool. And as you talk, I'm thinking, it's like, I have these tools that could be involved. And I think, no doubt a lot of other people in different disciplines listen to that or read the book and say, right? There are tools that can be brought to bear on these questions.
And how much do you think it's also like a mindset that comes with someone who's studying a living system, or someone who's studying the physics of it or the chemistry of it? And
my earlier question of predispositions, of blindness, of saying we must think outside the box, but that box is a lot bigger than the one we see, and or it's a lot smaller or something. That's a bad metaphor. If we can't think of it, we don't think of it.
Until there's a reason to look. Or, motivation to look.
What I find exciting, Helen, is so you don't need to get the big grant to go on an expedition. You get to say, I'm writing a book. Can I join you on your expedition? And how easy is that to do, to just reach out to someone and do you get turned down more than you get? And
actually it's I'm in a very lucky position. I'm in a fortunate position that I've come across a lot of very generous and wonderful scientists who take communication very seriously. So they, it's not a small deal by any means to allocate a bunk in a ship to a to a journalist or to a writer. I mean, I kind of have the benefit of being able to actually do some of the science too, because a lot of the time there'll be a mixed team of people on a ship. So, for example, the cruise I went on when I was researching the book to the Gulf of Mexico, it was a very young team. There were people on the ship who hadn't been to sea before. So for them, it was a learning experience. So, I mean, and that's what I find really wonderful as well about this kind of, and I find that across the board in so many different expeditions I've been involved in and people I've spoken to, is there's often a real mix from the profs all the way down to undergraduates even, who are taken out. And it's all part of that process of becoming a deep sea scientist, is getting out there on ships and getting that experience and learning from others at sea. So everyone is learning. So I was there too. I mean, I'm a trained marine biologist, and maybe most of my experiences in other places, which when I've done my own research, it's usually in shallower seas. But my experience is deepening, and that's valuable on the ship as well. So I could kind of chip in, and a lot of the time, anyone could do it. It's not it's like, go pick out the creatures from that pot of stuff we just
sure,
and go help them put that thing in, and it's stuff that we can all get involved in if you're want to put yourself on a ship. So I found them very welcoming, incredibly welcoming, and I think it's just an indication of how, I guess it kind of ties back as well, Jeff, to these ideas we spoke of originally, which is the hidden nature of the deep ocean, the secluded nature of what all of this is. And I find deep sea scientists incredibly aware of the role they have in showing others what's there. And so therefore the power of communication, whether it's films, whether it's books, radio, whatever it might be, just talking to people. I mean, they do these fantastic live link ups to the deep. There's one I think going on this week. I think it's still happening. The Schmidt Ocean Institute's got one going out. NOAA have the Okeanos Explorer. I'm forgetting one more. It's in the back of the book. I must mention that one too. But basically, you can link up live on YouTube and see what they're doing.
I love it. It comes across my Twitter feed on occasion, and I'm like, what? And they're like,
Ocean
look
Exploration
at this.
Trust. Nautilus is the other one. Aren't they great? I mean, I find them really just. I don't get anything done those days. I'm trying to.
And then you hear people going, "Oh, that's so cute."
Yeah, because it's narrated. What the heck is that? We've never seen that before. Wait a minute.
Right.
Yes.
It's this, and it truly is this kind of. It's like this collaboration. I mean, I know that scientists are kind of pinging in and listening in from all around the world, experts on a particular group, or they'll call someone up and be like, hey, wait, we need Chris Marr to tell us what this sea urchin is, because he's the guy in sea urchins, and he'll come in and be like, no, it's this. And it's like,
he's the urchin guy.
Science. He's the urchin guy, exactly. So,
yeah.
Or whoever it might, whatever they need. So I love that. So I think deep sea scientists take all of that very seriously in terms of trying to show as many people as possible what's there. And we have those tools now, which is super cool.
Yeah, you've done with this book, I think, a very important work of there were 3 sections, and I didn't read the contents to know what was coming, but there's like seeing how big the ocean is, seeing what all the life is like, and then seeing how people want to exploit it. And this whole mindset of people's like, look, the ocean is underexploited. It's like, what does that even mean? And I think you've demonstrated and started to solve the problem. It's like, you can't have, what do you want to call it, a modern feel about preserving or trying to take care of the oceans without some empathy and some understanding of what's there, what could be lost, and how huge that is. And then not only the exploitation, but then the physical processes of seeing how important the ocean, a component the ocean is of a global view of warming and what prevents warming and things. And the fact that, I don't know if I can find it here, that here it is. More than 90% of the extra heat trapped by human emitted carbon dioxide has been taken up by the oceans. Who knew that? Without
Good morning, Spotlight fam. I am so excited to be back here live with you again. This is another episode of the Spotlight DMV, and I am your host, Rose Johnson. And you already know this is where we celebrate the people, businesses, and change makers moving Prince George's County and the DMV forward. And today's guest is bringing wellness and luxury right here to our backyard in Prince George's County. Please welcome Ms. Nadine Vatel, CEO of Century Sentiments Massage and Wellness Spa, a luxury spa located in Bowie Town Center. Nadine, welcome to the Spotlight.
Thank you for having me, Rose. I really appreciate it.
You know, I'm so excited to be talking to you today. And actually, you and I heard about you before I actually met you. And it's been about a year since we actually met. A good friend of yours was telling me that there was a new spa that was coming to Bowie Town Center and that one of her friends is the owner. And she was also, this is Aronica, telling me about your work. And she didn't just talk about you as a luxury spa owner or a business owner. She said that you create spaces of peace and of mindfulness. And I was intrigued. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to meet this lady. And so we actually met through Prince George's Chamber of Commerce, and it's been about a year now. And so for about a year, I've been hearing you talk about building your spa and that luxury was coming to Bowie Town Center. So I really want to get into it and get into your story of building this business and what even inspired you to come to Prince George's County. So let's start with that. What inspired you to open a luxury spa in Prince George's County?
I am a native of Prince George's County, born and raised in Lanham, Maryland, graduated from Parkdale High School, go Panthers. So just being born and raised here, I shop here, I live here, I raise my family here, and therefore there are certain experiences that I wanted to not have to drive outside of my county to experience, and not out of my county, not out of my state for sure. And the spa industry, although we see the word spa on a lot of different businesses, it's not the spa experience that I was looking for and hoping to have in Prince George's County. So my husband, Alex, and I, we had two choices. We could either talk about we want this and we want that, or we could do something about it. So we decided we're going to do something about it, and we're going to build a luxury spa, the spa that we wanted to see. We said we will build it right here in our own backyard in Prince George's County.
You know, I really love that. I'm all about being able to build what you want to see in your community, because it's very easy to focus on what's not there and the lack, and drive to other places to spend your money. But listen, the older I get, first and foremost, just the thought of having to drive way out and away from where I live to patronize, something like a spa and like a luxury spa, it's, I don't want to sit in traffic. And the DMV area, we have so much traffic. Like, I cannot take it. All I can say is, thank you, good Lord, for allowing me to do work in Prince George's County. And so I know when you talk about not having having the experience at some of those other spas that you were looking for, what in particular do you mean by that?
I mean the attention. So when I go to a spa, I want to feel seen. I want to feel heard. I want to feel like I matter. I want to feel like a guest. And sometimes I would go into spas and, if I'm working with a practitioner, yes, that for that few minutes, the practitioner is servicing me. But then when it's over, here's a cup of water, go into the waiting room, enjoy the rest of your day. and on to the next. So I was like, I wish there was something to where people could guide me and I can have different, like a curated, guided experience to where just for a little while, I felt like there was a partner in my journey. And still being, having that time to be alone, but still having that guide, because we always say self-care, but what is it? What is self-care? Practice self-care. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean I go get my nails done? Is that lashes? Is that a glass of wine? Is it dinner with friends? And I learned it's all of that and more. It is spending time with yourself and having a quiet space, because it's scary sometimes, the thoughts that we have that just run through our mind. But being able to quiet your mind and have a space to do that outside of the home, I realize is really important.
Yes, I agree. And I like what you're saying about having a guide, because a part of when we talk about wellness and meditation, it's about being able to quiet your mind. And there are times when there are things that we're thinking about, like if we had someone guiding us to something through something as simple as a spa experience, I don't have to think about what room I'm going to. I don't have to think about where do I sit in this lounge. I don't have to think about any of that. I have someone guiding me through that experience. That's one less thing that I have to think about, and a wonderful way to actually experience to the full extent being able to relax your mind and to meditate. So I really love that. And so, as I mentioned, Aronica said that you create spaces of wellness and places where you can connect spiritually and meditate and, be at peace and be relaxed. So talk to us a bit more about that type of work that you do in general.
I'll tell you, I'm not even sure how it all gets done. The best way that I could describe it is that it's almost like a painting. So a lot of times people talk about design and, you pre-pick everything, you order everything. Whereas for me, it's literally a painting. It is like I just one piece that inspires me or a color, and I build off of that. And I let this space come to life on its own. And it's a weird concept when you're thinking about furniture and pictures and fixtures, but that's actually the process. I don't just go out and just click, 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 order, order, order. It's like the piece has to speak to me, and it has to speak to what I am trying to accomplish in the space. And that's how I build off of it, and I grow, and I love to just go out and see what's new, take drives, see what's out there, see what inspires me. Just your earrings alone, I'm just like, ooh, I could, just build a room off around that. So it's the inspiration. Things have to inspire you to want to feel. What kind of feeling does it evoke?
No, I love that. I love that, because our spaces definitely add to what we're feeling and to how we receive information, and you're a creative, I could tell, and an artist in your own right. And it comes through putting together spaces that allow people to just relax and be with quiet their mind. I love it, Nadine. And so, speaking of quieting your mind, you have been really transparent about your business journey. And, I know it's taken some time to get the business built. As I mentioned, we were talking about it last year, and you were very excited about the build out and about getting up and running. And then you had a soft opening in September. And shortly after your soft opening, you were you were sharing with us about the challenges you have been facing. And so for those that don't know, talk to us a bit about that, about the challenges of building this out and actually opening and starting up the business.
Well, I'll tell you. So the concept first of starting a spa, it sounded so much fun. It sounded like, ooh, I'm going to build a spa and it's going to be relaxing. But I had to learn the hard way. Business is business. and it is not for the faint of heart. The journey is actually a 2-year journey, 2-year journey. And it was hard because it was doing something that myself and Alex had never done before. We had never done this before. So we had those challenges. So the first part is just coming up with your concept and that business plan and making sure that you have a strong enough business plan that when you are out talking to lenders, you need financing, whatever it is, that it has to make sense, right? So that was a journey. Then finding investors. We were lucky enough and fortunate enough that Industrial Bank, a community-owned bank, believed in our vision. And I have to really highlight how important Industrial was in this journey, because they are a community bank and they understand Prince George's County and what it has and what it does not have. They were able to see the value in helping us obtain an SBA loan to bring this to the county. So that was a big piece, and we would not be here without Industrial, because we needed that community-based bank that understood Prince George's County, understood our wealth and what we could bring. But it's still hard going through the loan process. If anybody has ever closed on anything in their life, it is a process. The paperwork, you have to just be willing to give out everything, blood type, whatever information. It's just like, okay, you needed to get, I'm going to get it to you again. You know, you need updated numbers. You have to plan out, what are your quarterly projections? How do you plan to repay this money? How is your business going to function and work? So that is huge, right? We got through that piece. Then we've got to find a space. And we have to looking for the type of real estate that we needed in Prince George's County for it to be existing already. It was challenging. So finding a place to where it made sense to build a luxury spa, and to have all of the conveniences that we wanted our clients to have, not having to pay for parking, not going through parking garages, not paying tolls, you know, just all of that, right? So finding the location, because as they say, location. So finding the location was important. And finding this space was, and still is, a blessing. I'm very happy that we are here in the Shops at Bowie Town Center. And I'm very happy that we were able to find an 11,000 square foot spa, because the other part is that my vision was big and people didn't understand it. And I have realized that you have to be brave enough and bold enough to envision something that even if somebody else does not make sense, and I'll tell you, some of the loan officers, you know, everybody was just like, what are you doing? Do you need 11,000 square feet for a spa? And I'm like, for the kind of spa that I want, yes, I do. I need all of this space. And those who have come in, they're like, wow, you maximized every inch of this space. So going through the real estate part was really hard. And then there's just the business. And a business needs people. And you need to have qualified people. So I was very transparent in some of the mistakes that as CEO, I felt like, okay, next time around, do this better. One, understanding the terms of everything. Every agreement that you enter into, you need to know how you're going to get out of it. So that is one rule. Like if I'm going to sign a contract, I need to know how to cancel it as well. Also, our biggest struggle here with Sensory Sentiments was not the financing with Industrial Bank. That was fine. It was our tenant improvement allowance. So for those who don't know, and those who are thinking about ever, you know, obtaining a commercial space or anything like that, you have to customize it to, well, 9 times out of 10, you're going to customize the space to however you need it to function. And which means that you are making improvements on the landlord's property, because we obviously don't own the Shops at Bowie Town Center. We are leasing the space. So we've leveled what was previously David's Bridal and did everything: flooring, new ceilings, walls, just everything, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, every single thing. So we've made improvements to the owner's property. And in our lease agreement, we did have an attorney, a real estate attorney, that helped us with the lease agreement. And in that lease agreement, after we did all of the improvements, we were supposed to get our tenant improvement allowance, which is a certain amount of money that says, okay, you improved our property is now worth more. So since you put that money initially in, we give you a portion of that back. And that was very important to our business plan and our business model, because that was part of our working capital. So we made the initial investment and we're expecting that working capital back. And that working capital was supposed to help with marketing and promotion, which anyone who owns a business knows you have to have marketing and promotion. And when the landlord did not provide that tenant improvement allowance, it took away all of our marketing and promotion money. So it was a huge hit. The second part of the huge hit to us was that you always want to make sure that if you're getting a space, that everything is disclosed. So in 2018, there was a mandate that required fire alarm poles by all entrances and exits in commercial spaces. So a lot of us probably remember the little red boxes, and if you didn't want to take the test, you pulled the fire alarm and okay, no test. I'm sure kids are still doing that today. But this location, imagine, we signed a lease agreement in 2023 and this location had 0 fire alarm poles.
Wow.
So we didn't find this out until we are well into construction. So it is not an easy fix, right? We had to, anything you do when you're doing a build out, if you revise anything, you've got to redo your architectural plans. So we are in the midst of a build out and going through inspections and find out that we cannot get our final use and occupancy permit because the landlord failed to make sure that this property was up to code. So we had to go through and rehire the electrical, mechanical, all of the architects to redraw, to put this in the plans. Then anytime you make the changes to plans, you have to submit that to the permit office. That has to go through a review period. After that goes to the review period, you've got to get your approval. Then you've got to pay your third-party inspection company to come out. You also have to, because we didn't know about this, we have to find somebody who actually did that work.
So specific, yes.
That's a very special, that's not something that a general contractor can do. That is a fire alarm specialist.
We'll have a live performance tonight. Zadina will perform. She's a leading R&B neo-soul songwriter and vocalist with strong jazz influences. In 2016, she became the lead singer of the Euphoria Band, a Baltimore-based performance band known for its artistic interpretations of R&B, neo-soul classics infused with jazz elements. Euphoria was invited to join the 2017 lineup of the Richmond Jazz Festival along with Erykah Badu. Now, just so you all know, Zachariah is a American native, a PGC resident, performing up and down the coastline. So you can see her all over the place, yes? I want to say everywhere. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Zakia.
Thank you so much, y'all. Hi, neighbors! I want to give a big clap for Veronica for inviting me and arranging all of this. She's been working hard for months. Tirelessly. All right, I understand we got to get going, so I'm just going to jump into some of these songs right now, if that's okay. Is that all right with y'all? Yeah. I knew we had a lot of change leaders in the audience, so I thought we'd start right here, right?
My name is Veronica Fountain. I am the host and the owner, publisher of Simply Bowie Publication. Welcome to the 3rd Annual Reader's Choice Awards. This is a great celebration that we're doing tonight to acknowledge you tonight as the business owner. Like I said, I am Veronica with Simply Bowie Publication. I've had this publication now for 10 years. 10 years of a grassroots publication that started in Bowie 10 years ago. It's a very high-end luxury luxury magazine that circulates to homes, doctor's offices, and networking events. And it's a huge opportunity for businesses like yourself to market and publish yourself either with full-page ads, customized half-page ads as well, okay? So the magazine is loaded with editorial content such as arts and entertainment, health and wellness, top doctors issue. So every other month, we feature and showcase some really great editorial content for the publication. So it's a really great opportunity to mesh with businesses to consumers and consumers to businesses. And of course, with this publication, Simply Bowie publication, we have a robust digital platform as well. So we have website banners, promotional banners, e-newsletter, digital link banners. So it's a huge opportunity to generate some major leads for your business, and of course some branding and new customers for your business. So tonight we are here to celebrate you. Like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years now, so I've added on this annual Reader's Choice Awards. So I really appreciate it, and thank you for coming out tonight. We're going to have a really great celebration. I want to now bring to the stage my co-host, Jackie, so she can introduce herself and her business as well.
My name is Jackie Thompson. I am a gallerist, the owner of Overview Recreation Art Gallery right here in Baltimore, Maryland. We are representing over 40 African American artists there, and we are celebrating our 21st birthday this week as well. And we couldn't have done it without Simply Bowie. It brings so many, our advertisements for the magazine brings so many people into the gallery, so we definitely recommend that. Thank you. Awesome. So let's get started.
Let's get started. But before we get started, I would like to motivational keynote speaker first on the stage. So I would like to bring onto the stage India Hall, who was our last year keynote speaker, and this year she's going to introduce the keynote speaker for this year. So please welcome India Hall.
Hello, Simply Bowie. How are you guys doing today? Good to see you again for another year in a row. We are on year 3 of Simply Bowie Awards, so congratulations to Veronica. So excited to be here for another year, and I'm even more excited to introduce our keynote speaker. I had the pleasure of meeting the keynote speaker a couple of years ago. We were, she was my co-lead and partner with the Women's Business League of Peach County, and during that time we worked together hand in hand with other women, and I got to know how creative she was, or is, how nurturing she is, how fabulous she is, how much of a great mom and a great wife she is, how she takes care of people, how she cares for her clients. She's just a fabulous woman. Can we say fabulous woman, dynamic woman? So let me go into my introductions because she is going to blow you guys away. So, Jean-Vuana, Life Coach Vaughn Evans, received the 2025 Quality Business Award as Best Life Coach in Waldorf. She is an international speaker and the author of While I Was Waiting on God, He Was Waiting on Me. Let's say it. While I was waiting on God, He was waiting on me. All right? That word blends heart, innovation, and transformation. Affectionately known as Life Coach Vaughn, she is the founder of the Fly Life Coaching ecosystem, which includes an academy that empowers the next generation of transformational coaches and an association that connects those coaches with their ideal clients. Most recently, she launched Coaching 3.0, so that's coaching with a capital A and a capital I, a groundbreaking AI-powered coaching skills development platform designed to extend her mission of empowering coaches, healthcare organizations, and educational institutions, amplifying her impact worldwide. Her mission to help individuals and coaches alike unlock confidence, embrace purpose, and create impact that produces income. Can we say impact and income? Impact and income. All right. Through certifications in neuroscience, health, and wellness, her coaching system integrates body, mind, and spirit in alignment. She has made guest appearances on Magic 102.3, OK Radio, and 92.7, and has been featured in New York Weekly, Times Business News, Medium, Voyage Baltimore, and Campus Rebel. She has also shared her voice on global stages from Oxford University to national conferences at the, such as the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus. So, Life Coach Vaughn, her story is one of resilience, faith, and innovation. A journey that continues to inspire others that first loving yourself isn't selfish, because even though it starts with you, it doesn't end with you. So please help me bring Life Coach Vaughn to the stage, a person who I call my friend.
The song says, bless me so that everyone around me can have everything that they need. How many of you, that's your prayer? You're like, Lord, bless me so that I may be able to pour into that young mother who don't know how to pay her bills. Lord, bless my marriage so that I may be able to encourage other marriages to keep moving it forward. Lord, bless me so that my children won't have to graduate from college with six-figure student loan debt. Lord, bless my marriage so that I can help other marriages get through their down spiral. A trip here and there will be nice, but the blessings that I'm asking for is really so that everyone around me can have everything that they need. And then the song says favor. How many of you want the favor of God to fall on you? Y'all, but that is not even the parts of the song that really gets me excited. Y'all, like, for real, you can get more excited than that? The parts of the song that really gets me excited, he starts to talk about shifting our perspective. Okay, so let me go back here. Here's the thing. The paradox about a blessing is oftentimes preceded by what we identify as a burden. Woo! Yeah. I need to put this down. I need to talk to them real quick.